officer why he delayed. Because the polling unit the area is collating. It's just like a true stone, where 5 hours journey have delivered his own result. It's just coming. And when I saw him, I said, they didn't use a professor. So when he introduced himself as a professor, I became shocked. And I'm doing my PhD, and I've just told myself, I don't need to be a professor. He is very disgraceful. He should explain why the delay. Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It is noted. Thank you, sir. Not personal, please. Okay, sir. Please, so that we don't waste any.
Thank you, sir. I will not join issues with someone that is a beneficiary of this fraud. Is active participant of this. When it goes low, I will go high. Sir, the Redo results. I can see a column signed by PDP here. Our agent is outside. Our agent has not had access to this building since these results were moved from Redo, from the wards. The results, only 2 wards out of 12 got to Redo Collation Center. The remaining wards were brought here directly. The agent, the Oredo local government area agent, has not had access to this building and make bold to say. So this fraud, I repeat, this manufacturing of votes continues. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please, like I said before, I want us to be very, very matured and diplomatic in this case. Like I said, please, I want to repeat it. There are questions that have been raised. The truth is that if really we know our role here, this is not a court of law. I just want to attend to some of the issues the last man raised. It is not a court of law where somebody will be kept in a box for interrogation. Our simple job is for us to collate results, and you can see fundamental questions we have been asking here. Those are the only questions that we can ask as far as this exercise is concerned, and this exercise must continue. It has to go. We must do it to complete what we are supposed to do here. So any other issue, please, like I said before, document this and make it available to our NA. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, please. Thank you. Any other observation? All right, LGA Collation Officer, please tender the results. Thank you. Which other? Okay. Is Okpoba here? Okpoba local government? Is it Okpoba? I've said, please permit. Don't mind me. I'm not too familiar with. Please. Okpoba. Okpoba. Just bear with me, please. So long as you understand exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you. Thank you. Gentlemen and ladies, please let me show you something here. This is the result sheet. It's still sealed. What I want to simply do, open this in your presence, and then we begin to record results, because if we stay here and say we want to go on recess again, it means we will have to extend this exercise till tomorrow. So please, with your permission, it's sealed. It is sealed. I'm going to open it before everybody here, and then we'll now begin to record the results that are already on the screen. So please. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the declaration result sheet. It is also sealed. Please, you bear me witness. This is from EC8D. From EC8D. Is this sealed? We shall be transferring the results that is already on the screen that everybody has seen, and I'm sure The results are also in circulation with the party agents and security.
Okay, Edo State people and Nigerians across the world, please, if you are joining me, they've resumed collation, and the result they've released so far, I mean, they've got 2 local governments more to release, but they've released one now, leaving us with just one. Oredo has been released, and they're now going to release Ibuba Oha local government. While they are, we are with them, and they are, I don't know what they are sorting out. Why they continue with that. I just want us to know that the report that we are getting, just recently suggests that shortly after the committee went on break earlier on, some protests broke out in Benin City. I'm going to want to put that up. Protests broke out. People are rejecting the outcome of this election. And as a matter of fact, I've equally seen a video where Asue Udalu, the candidate of the PDP, has also reacted, to the outcome of this election so far. I just, I'm putting this across also just so we know that Edo State currently can be rightly, said to be very volatile right now, because people are truly aggrieved, because many believe that what's his name, the outcome of this result is a fraudulent one. So what you're saying right now is of course a footage that's out there right now, suggesting that protest has already broke out in Benin City. With outright rejection of the outcome of this election. Apparently, we would expect this because, of course, people are desperate. You understand what I'm saying? And people are hugely aggrieved. And what we are seeing right now, by several suggestions, is increasingly looking like there's been some manipulations, as it were. And the point I've made earlier, was that everybody played a role in all of this that we are seeing right now. But the ones that appear to have upper hand are the ones right now that the result appear to be favoring. And that is the APC, Modokbewolo. And the aftermath of this, I believe, is going to be really, really bad. I'm checking to see that if they've started, calling the results. At any time they do, we're definitely going to come back to that. Let's go back to result collation. I will come back to this particular protest, and of course,
already the results from the last local government area will make little significance to the overall result, and I believe is the reason why we have decided to save time here. The Independent National Electoral Commission has decided to save time while we are waiting for the results from Ikwabaha. Let's just tally the figures of the local government areas that have already been collated. Dr. Baki.
Okay, Charles, I heard you very clearly. You said that the last local government, the collation is not going to make any difference. So what does that tell us? And what is the mood in Edo State right now, particularly Benin City, where you are?
I would have said that's a trick question, but then let's just say we are facing the inevitable. I am not going to make any declarations here for obvious reasons, but if it takes a little bit of arithmetic to know who is ahead and who is trailing, those who have grievances have already voiced their grievances, and they are waiting for the announcement of the final results so that.
Anyways, what you hear there is what's my of course, apparently we know where this already go. We've already projected that Monday Beolo of the APC is going to be named the governor-elect of Edo State based on the outcome of the results so far. And of course, rightly put, the last local government may make no difference. Because right now, if my overall estimation is correct, Beolo is already leading. The APC candidate is already leading by nothing less than 40,000 votes. So apparently, Ikbobaka is not going to make much difference. But meanwhile, when the correspondent there talked about the inevitable, we already started seeing things from Edo State protest. But let's take a look at this. This happened a while ago.
It's a struggle for Nigeria, and we are here because by the time that God is free today, Nigeria will be free. Nigeria will be free. Nigeria will be free. Nigeria will be free.
Presented here, and to say that what we voted yesterday, you can check IREV now. We have collected the results. The people, we have collected our result, and we have seen that one man. You don't know if it's the one that I voted for. Because what I'm saying right now, it is not because of party. It can be me tomorrow that this can be done to. We are standing against oppression. And we heard today that the result in Ego was being manipulated. And we have our results.
We say no because of our children that are yet unborn. We say no. And we speak. That is all we are saying. This is the voice of the people. This is the voice of the people. This is the voice of the people. We are gathered here. We are gathered here why we are here. The result should not be obtained. The result should not be altered. The result should not be changed. Those that gave it up to me yesterday, last week, to change the will of the people. We are saying that we are resisting it, and we will not agree. We will not agree. Those that want to turn the destiny of the people for the next 8 years, we are saying no. We are saying no. There are 3 arms of government, but the top people want to announce for Nigeria. There is a 4th arm.
Well, a lot of the youths they have come out. The reason why some of us are not carried away by some of these kind of arrangements is because nothing in Nigeria appears genuine anymore. Only in recent days we started seeing protests organized, by politicians. They sponsor protests. People go out to protest, and after the protest, they go back to go and collect money. They get paid protesters and all. I'm not saying that's what this is. As a matter of fact, this could be genuine. But however, the reason why still I'm not personally carried away by all of this is that the what we are seeing right now did not begin with this result that we are, this manipulation that we are seeing right now. Everybody here now, majority of them who are here now that you are looking at, they all contributed to what we are seeing right now. There are quite a number of these people who are here now who voted yesterday, compromised and sold their souls because of this election. Because of this election. That has been my point. I am very, very much aggrieved that this election right now is being put in the hands of the APC. It shouldn't have been. But it is not just the APC that is manipulating. People here you are looking at now protesting, many of them have colluded. It is not like they are protesting now so that PDP is giving the mantle because PDP were innocent. Many of them did a lot on behalf of the PDP because of what they will get. This is what the problem is. The problem right now is not just about APC. It is all of us, all Edo State people. This is what the problem is. So people are going to cry. People are going to get arrested. People are going to protest in whatever way. So we get arrested. I hope and pray that people don't buy in the process of the matter. At the end of the day, when you look at the remote, cause or causes, or if you may, you find out that, man, everybody has played some role. That is when I was talking about Obaseki earlier. I don't want to even talk about Obaseki anymore. I probably want to use this one. I want to talk about we the people. We the people. I have agents on the ground in Edo State. I had them yesterday, loads of them. Somebody, an electorate, a voter, came to one of my own observers and said, "You are Labour. How much are you paying? PDP is offering 10,000. The other one is offering this. If you guys can just give me 5,000, then I will leave the hour. I will vote for Labour. When I Labour, I want me to vote for initially. Ab initio. But who in the ass never get money to give him? So he went back, probably did his transactions and go ahead, go vote. Somebody said clearly yesterday, say, even if we vote for the matter, how are we sure say anything will change? I mean, I could just collect my own now. Anyhow, they want to do those states. That now is the mentality, a dangerous mentality. And now you have put the things in the hands of APC. They are declaring results right now, which obviously states very clearly, by way of projection and everything, that APC will be announced as the next governor of those states. Everybody's crying foul. When the BC, a stitch in time would have saved 9. And that stitch would have been that Obaseki ought to be on top of this matter, knowing fully well that even his own first term was not right. He was, intimidated. He was driven out of this SNAPC. He got to PDP, found some rescue, and those that rallied around him. All he needed to do was to have kept that majority, govern Edo State with honesty. Avoid many skirmishes that he got himself involved in. Work the work. All the things he promised to deliver on, deliver reasonably on them. Ekenwa Road is started since the inception of your administration. We are still on Ekenwa Road. How many kilometers? How many? First time as a governor, the very first week, first couple of days, you went to Benin Technical College. Say, man, you don't want revamp, you want to bring vocational studies back to Edo State. You know, this one was alive and working. 8 years gone. You are leaving office right now in the next couple of months. Nobody is in Benin Technical College. If you fix one louvers, all the what's it called, influencers. Man, Benin Tech. But Benin Tech is living right now. Nobody is admitted there right now. School of Nursing. But they try too much to School of Nursing. Tell yourself right now, how many people are in School of Nursing? Those who are in School of Nursing, how is the ordinary Edo State man able to sponsor, his own child to the School of Nursing in Edo State under Governor Obaseki? So when we look at the resources that are coming to this state has not been led with honesty. And above all, you started fighting all institutions, creating problems here and there. All these guys rather motivated to go and do protests. I stand to be corrected. Many of them are under the payroll of the administration of Obaseki. When election is coming, you recruit SA and SSEs, thousands of them. Immediately after election, 2 months after, 3 months after, you dislodge all of them. Now they all have energy right now because they'll be paid some 40,000-50,000 naira, many of them, to come out and do these things. At the end of the day, nothing is really genuine. While I weep that we have just given this election into the hands of the APC, returning us back to Egypt, certain human beings are responsible. And chief amongst them is Governor Obaseki. Governor Obaseki. And so all of these things was saying under this human being they call Parliament Tinubu. All these people, you guys have to just be very careful, because all these financially monetarily induced protests, they don't go anywhere. In the meantime, before they come up, we will listen to Waiting Aswe talk. I sorry for Aswe. Aswe didn't know to bother himself around this environment at all. Needed not to. Obaseki brought Aswe and embarrassed him and made him lose this election. Even when election not really the day, man, we supposed to get sense. You carry your PDP people enter Benin, 2 days to election, 3 days to election. You could not start doing reparations to be seen to be like, okay, the palace people, they accuse you of saying, man, so you are trying to divide the palace. Maybe you start to make sure you rewrite your wrongs to correct things. You brought visitors to Benin. You slattered the palace of the Oba Benin. And the children of the palace are watching you. They are looking at you. And somebody will say, this, that. Let me be clear with everybody. Obaseki, brought Aswe and made Aswe lose this election. And that's the truth of the matter. There's so much dishonesty, so much self-centeredness, too much optics. The optics were just too much. Now, so they carry, Edo Best. For the last one, you will not hear of Edo Best again. But look at all the schools around Edo State and ask yourself, where is the Edo Best? But when you hear the figures from World Bank, from this, from that, to support Edo Best, you'll be asking yourself, what have we done? An election must be do or die. Money was deployed by PDP. Money was deployed by APC. Now, who can deploy more? Neither they call result for right now. Those ones, they will go beyond just the money they paid people to come and vote for them. Even go ahead, probably pay billions now to get some things changed and manipulated. At the end of the day, you go to court. Who get cornered, then they still get the court. This was exactly what, as a people, we needed to have resisted. To say no. Nigeria has failed to do this. Let us ensure that we start a proper democracy from Edo State. You are crying foul right now, everybody. You are crying foul, isn't it? But when this man organized local government elections, what did you guys do? You all connived, many of you, to ensure that the local government elections, it was rigged maximally. There was no election in most places, but results were called. Una clap for her, 18/18. I something clap. Come to social media. I was embarrassed. You broke people's hearts because of that. There was no true practice of proper democracy from the grassroots. You killed it, Mr. Obaseki. When you support, promote, engineer injustice, at some point, you will weep for the injustice that you yourself have so much sponsored. You organize local House of Assembly elections. You make sure you wrote the result as you like. And the next day you will go church. You will say, man, we don't win. No, it was free, fair, and credible. When you knew that you played very bad politics, you destroyed democracy at the very grassroots. Now look at it. Now the table has flipped. And these young men are protesting. Protesting for what? They paid you guys in your own coin. If there are people who are innocent in this protest, they should go home. They should go home. I probably think right now that everybody should be sober. It is time for sober reflection. A reflection that should engineer true repentance. That all of you when we gather for here and I'm waiting on one chop daily bread and most stuff now. Without due respect to those that be genuinely art. But most of you guys, now daily bread, now the ginger on right now. Whether if you don't do finish, go collect money from una paymaster. That's exactly what we are saying. That's exactly what we have come to know in this matter. We cannot just make that sacrifice to say, on this occasion, let us resolve. Let us reject anybody who want to try to induce us. You have had them for 25 years. You will have them for 28 years. And probably have them for another 30-something years. All of you. Una will be young people never born for inside. Una go born, naturally will come grow inside. These human beings, when they look so, they will still be there manipulating all of you. Some will collect 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 as the case may be. You will wait till another 4 years to collect more. But don't worry. Between now and the next 3, 4, 5 months, you are going to protest for hunger, against hunger protest, because the economy of Nigeria is not getting ready to be better. You are going to start buying fuel for 1,500 per liter very soon. You will protest again, hunger protest. And I will be here smiling and watching more people wallow in the pain that you have collectively brought upon all Edo State people because of immediate gratification that will not last you for one week. If Edo State people truly stand to elect credibly somebody, reject all advances by politicians, and it doesn't matter who we choose. It could be this Mokbewolo, it could be Aswa, it could be anybody, it could be whatever. But if that is the genuine will of the majority, democracy will be thriving. There will be protests. People are only going to protest now after inducement or whatever. Maybe they are not protesting now because they were immediately induced, but they have been induced to compromise the election. Now they not succeed. So while you are protesting, others are smiling and happy. Others are celebrating. We are all Edo State people, isn't it? But on the same election that we do, some of you right now, proponents of PDP, you are protesting. But those who supported the APC, they are smiling, they are happy. So you don't see the contrast, but ordinarily should there be protest if election was genuinely free and fair? So that is why I will never say that Ukbewolo was elected or he won. I will say that Ukbewolo has been chosen to become the governor of Edo State. If Obaseki had his own way, of making Asue anything by team, Asue would have been the governor. But now who's strong past now? Now they produce governor. So don't go out there and protest, selling the idea that you were genuine. You were not genuine at all. Somebody calling earlier was saying, Asue actually won this election. How? What is the criteria of judgment? Because the last time I checked, I was live on this election, and people were collecting money in the name of PDP. So don't tell me this election is flawed. However the outcome is, it's flawed. And I think that should be our protest. Not protesting because it's flawed and give it to one person. They know if they had given it to your own, you would be celebrating, isn't it? The thing is flawed, generally flawed. The entire electoral architecture of Edo State, starting from the purgation of the mind of the people of Edo State, must be what should be looked into. So the protest should be against ourselves for having compromised and brought ourselves to this lowest ebb. Look at all of them. They are protesting. They are speaking baby grammar. This same you speaking baby grammar, if they go check your background in the course of yesterday, only God knows the havoc you did. Many of you are there to ensure that PDP carry the day. Unfortunately, the ones who are strong pass and they're going to carry the day, and then you are here protesting, then I will be listening to you. Nonsense. I beg you, we will listen to us with that. And that person will be saying, man, I get some pity for, over the embarrassment that Obasaki has caused him. And the total waste of time. Let's take a listen.
I'm pretty disappointed. The day started rather on an even canter, and I thought we probably would have a good, transparent, and effective conduct of elections. But as the day wore on, and I saw how things were unfolding, it became clear that the elections were not going to be freely and fairly held. So I'm very disappointed. It's beginning to look like we're having probably the worst election in the history of our country being conducted in Edo State. We saw yesterday certain moves that seem to obviously suggest a blatant attempt to manipulate the results of the elections. Many things come up suddenly. You see results being thrown up where the total results are much more than the voters that have been accredited. A great example is a place like in Ikpobaha in Ologbo in Ikpobaha. The total voters that were accredited for yesterday's election was 156. The results declared gives APC 2,110 and PDP 57. And we have like 50 such units where such results have been thrown up, where we have the total number of votes far outstripping people that came to accredit for the election. That's impossible. If 100 people accredit, then either you have 100 or less voting. It's preposterous. And the irony of the whole thing, where all of this happened, APC ended up winning in all of those places. So, we see clear manipulation. And, I've always said this, manipulation cannot happen except there is complicity and connivance by INEC, period. So that's why I say that the way I see the direction of these elections, it's clear that it probably will be the worst elections in the history of Nigeria, the way it's going. If INEC doesn't turn a new leaf, we can't accept injustice. We can't accept injustice. We're peace-loving people in the PDP, the party, my running mate and myself. We're peace-loving people. We're gentlemen. If the elections had been fairly and freely conducted, then we'll take the outcome of the elections. But when you see this crass manipulation, this subversion of the will of the people of Edo State, it's untenable. It's unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. People can't just use what they think are the powers that they have. We truly are powers from God and from the people of Nigeria, and use those powers to subvert, undermine, intimidate, and punish the people of the country. It's not acceptable. And these are the things that are the beginnings of bigger problems for countries. People are not students of history. People don't love their country. They don't even love themselves. They don't even love themselves, because if there is a big problem in all of this, it affects everybody. There's nobody that will say because you are the purveyor of the crime, you will escape. The governor went into the INEC office to demand a meeting with the REC to ask why they'd stopped the collation of the votes. And there was nothing being done. There was nothing being said. And he went in, and after he had finished, he met with the DIG police. And after they finished, he left. It was because of his intervention that INEC issued a statement that they will continue collation at 10 a.m. So there's no such, it's not true. How will they match out a sitting governor from INEC office? Who is the wreck compared to a sitting governor? Apart from this so-called powers. If you go to INEC office, you would think it's one of the branch offices of APC, or one of their campaign offices. So it's possible that the APC thugs that were there were saying that, but definitely security officials will say that. And the security officials, in fairness to them, were very courteous. The governor confirmed this. The security officials were there were a number of security officers there that had even worked directly with the governor before. So that didn't come from security officers. That could only have come from the APC thugs. And you see, APC has taken over all of the institutions that govern this electoral process, which is truly sad. As far as the people of Edo State were concerned, they were going through a normal process of electing a new government. And they didn't think they would have to go through all of this hassle to get to the point where they elected a new government. So the people of Edo State are sad. They feel pained. They are worried that their true intentions, wishes, and desires are about to be subverted. But, I know the people of Edo State. They're strong people. They're strong-willed people. They understand political issues. They're very conversant with political ways and processes. And I think the people of Edo State will stand up and speak for themselves as things unfold. But I'm hoping very seriously that INEC will retrace its steps and understand that it cannot be used as cannon fodder by politicians that don't like the people. It's just unbelievable the way the APC has been behaving in the weeks leading up to this election. They're behaving as if they own INEC, as if they own the police. And we are all complicit in allowing all of this to continue happening. And we say we want to run a free, fair, and democratic process. We're in the world.
I swear Udalo touched on a number of things. Politicians will not cease to amaze all of us. You understand me? When I was a younger person, my father used to tell us, he would say, a life not examined is not worth living. Now, as well as Udalo will sound the way he's sounding right now, because right now, the situation at hand pinches him badly. He did not benefit the way expected from this situation. So, rightly, he would sound like this. But let us take our mind back a bit. Aswa Udalo came through an electoral process, a primary process that was ridiculous, that was flawed. People were beaten. Okay? People were disenfranchised to make Aswa Udalo emerge. The office of the deputy governor, that man lost his office because of this same Aswa Udalo to make him emerge. There was so much injustice. I'm not like any of them, okay? But I'm just taking this now, waiting him enjoy. What he's complaining about right now is what he has enjoyed in his short stint into politics in Edo State under Governor Obaseki. They have never allowed a free-flowing process. You have served under the same governor for 8 years in his economic team. You were there when this governor robbed the people of proper democracy at the local government levels. You took part in that arrangement. You were there when the same governor, you celebrated the same governor when he robbed the people of the House of Assembly elections that was under the purview of the governor of Edo. And they talk about this in a minute. When I share this, I made a scene. So that while they are complaining, pointing one finger to the APC that has robbed them currently, possibly, maybe, I don't know. You know what I'm saying now? Or that have robbed Edo State currently. Let other fingers point at them so they can be reminded what they themselves have done. Because whether you like it or not, your conscience will always be truthful to you, even if you refuse to be truthful to yourself publicly. So at the end of the day, whatever you are enjoying now, Mr. Asue Udalo, it's a product of the seed that you and Obaseki, I will not put the blame on you mostly, but usually on Obaseki, have sown actually. That is it. You've been present, you've been with this Obaseki. You were so confident earlier in the morning. Yeah, I mean, you know, I saw video of how Nate pray come up for us. The day started well. You were very optimistic. Now, all the things you are accusing the APC of, that APC have done, that I am crying for, you people did the same thing. You have just said, oh, how can our democracy advance if we can be doing this? But you did the same thing. Can you say you are innocent of the fact that the PDP members were sharing money? Are you saying of this you are innocent, you know, to the extent that PDP manipulated many results? It's just that these other guys took a step further and higher and manipulated more. That is why they have declared the result. So when people say you probably, Asua probably won this election under a free and fair election, it is one that people can contest. Because at the end of the day, the entire process was flawed. So as far as I'm concerned, people are going to come out later to say, oh, where would have won this election? He didn't win this election. Neither did Asua win this election. We will never know who would have won this election had everything gone smoothly, without hitches, without interference with the minds of the people. The most dangerous thing that we can do to a process is to corrupt the minds of the people. What you guys did is this election is to sow a deeper seed of corruption in the mind of the average Edolite, the electorate. People will now look at subsequent elections, okay, and place a price tag on it because you have started paying. That is the way. Now, anybody who doesn't have money to buy electorate can no longer aspire in Edo State. That is the seed you have sown. And so when I saw those charlatans saying they are protesting, honestly, I asked them, to be honest, they should get out of the streets and go to their houses and endure what they have given to themselves. I don't need a soothsayer to tell us that Edo State people right now have just selected the human beings that will provide the worst kind of governance in the history of Edo State. And they're going to take Edo State back for many, 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 many years. Because of the greed, avarice of Obaseki. Because of his own selfishness. Because of his own self-destruct that they has now extended to Edo State people on a general scale. That is exactly what is responsible for this process. So when I see you talking and weeping, I swear, oh man, Osalobua, may God help us to always stand by the way of truth. Olumide has lost out of this election. If the election was free and fair, he may not have won still, but everybody would have been happy that yes, Edo State people truly determined who the next governor of Edo State would be. At least that would have been there. And when the person is governing, knowing fully well that he came through the right order and is enjoying the honest mandate of the people, it will be incumbent on the person to do well as a governor, because he will know that if he's seeking re-election, these same Edo State people will have the power to remove him. But right now, somebody has been selected who will be sat there in the government house, knowing fully well that he doesn't need to campaign, he doesn't need to appear on any television station, he doesn't need to grant any interview to win his re-election. All he needs to do is to steal more money from the coffers of Edo State, keep it aside. 4 years' time, he will run for his re-election, buy the people over, and become the governor of Edo State. That is what we have done. And for the APC, we have only just helped them right now to consolidate on the idea that after Monday, 8 years after, they can bring a lizard whom Edo State people may not even know at all. They'll say, man, that lizard on that picture will be the next governor of Edo State. He will not engage with anybody. He will not. Nobody will know him. And when it's time for election, those people will collect 50,000 because that time they may be 50,000 or 100,000. Depending on how the value that our naira would be. They will collect their 100,000 and vote for the lizard to govern Edo State. That is what Obaseki has helped Edo State to achieve after riding on the collective goodwill of Edo State people in 2020. Obaseki is guilty. He's guilty and he remains guilty. Unfortunately, you came through, his route. And so you have benefited from all of these. All the shenanigans put together by Obaseki is what you are benefiting from. I'm sorry for you because ordinarily you are not even a politician per se. You know what I'm saying? But you just thought that you were just going to, since Obaseki is a master of this manipulation, you're just going to say through. Somebody has said, go to court. And you are going to court against the people who are already judges in their own court. Come on. Well, go to court. The manipulation is obvious. Those guys, APC, obviously paid people to vote for them. Then in other areas, they stepped ahead a bit. Now we are hearing that they manipulated the IRF, changed, result sheets and placed different result sheets just to ensure that they outdo you people. That's what has happened. So the fact that you are sounding the way you are sounding right now doesn't make you a saint. If you were a saint, I would honestly, truly sympathize with you, but you were not. You didn't campaign to your electorate to go to the field that you are not going to give them anything. No. In some local government I'm aware of, your own polling agents, you pay them as much as 150,000 naira for each polling unit. Times that by 4,000 plus. Just your own polling unit agents. And you have 3 for each polling unit. 300,000 for each polling unit. That's from PDP. APC even paid more. They even bought more to themselves. PDP and APC started dragging Labour Party and other political parties to buy their agents. This all happened in this election. So when Obaseki said it was a do or die affair, it was honestly a do or die affair. And that is why even when he had no business going to the INEC headquarters, he went there because he's the governor of Edo State. And you said he wanted to go and negotiate to find out why they are not uploading, why they are not doing this, why they are not collating, why they are not doing that. It is alleged that he went there to try to manipulate, to try to bribe his way through to change the course of things. That's the allegation out there. So it's your word against their own. But in any case, whatever it was, he had no business being around that environment. But because he's the generalissimo, he went there. It's all part of the process of manipulating. Look at all the people. Of all the people caught yesterday, there were some who were APC members for different malpractice, different violent moves. Some were PDP members, some were APC members. So these are spoils that you guys have shared amongst yourself to the detriment of Edo State and Edo State people. So I swear, Udalo, you are going to go down in history of Edo State as the governor we never had. And I hope that, I don't want to share this broadcast, I hope that you will hear my voice at some point. And it is not too late, I believe, to seek a newer word and probably team up with repent. I think that's the first point. Repent of what you guys believe politics should be about. And find ways to start, regenerating and regrouping Edo State electorate on the need to rise together to defend Edo State in the next election. I probably think that that's where we should start now. And you should repent to be part of a movement like that, where people should get to understand that every penny they collect right now to favor one political party or the other is their pain tomorrow. But as I'm sat here right now, a lot of people call me for different things. You understand what I'm saying? God willing, if I get at the support anytime, I'm called on. Anytime. You understand what I'm saying? But for the next 4 years, any cry when I hear, say, And so we want to do this one, come if you help us more, you know, all those things they do anonymously, we are not trying. Just even they want everybody down. We are not trying. And I can't call me civil society group. Oh, comrade, you know, we are just water, please. They could not try them. But most of you all took part in this charade that took place right now. I don't get any problem with Modukbewolo, no Asue, no anybody. All I just wanted was that let us have an election that will reflect truly the will of the people, not the bought over will of the people, the genuine will of the people of Edo State. I don't know whether they not start the collation. Maybe we may listen in first a bit. Let me just take a listen. Maybe not verse. I see they here. Have they started? Let's see.
Abroad. So why did you come down to vote? You may argue that you told your people who to vote for. Yeah. But you can say what you want to say. The reality on ground.
Arise is still. I don't know what they are doing. This one local government that is left. They're doing quick now. What did they like? They just do anyhow like say this thing tomorrow, not this.
I'm pretty disappointed.
So
the day started rather on an even canter, and I thought we probably would have a good, transparent, and effective conduct of elections. But as the day wore on, and I saw how things were unfolding, it became clear that the elections were not going to be freely and fairly held.
I agree.
So I'm very disappointed. It's beginning to look like we're having probably the worst election in the history of our country being conducted in Edo State.
Point of correction, Dr. Asue Udalo. The worst election I've had in Edo State was the last local government elections. I was very much involved in that election, so I knew everything that went on in that election. And most of all, I had observers on the ground. My own observers, the commercial observers on the ground. There were several places. There were no materials, no NSEC officials. Several places. Several places. And results were declared to reflect all of those places. The same thing that APC did now to manipulate and this was what you guys did, was what Obaseki did. People were pained, but they could not cry out. In the pain of people, Obaseki went to church to go and give testimony that he organized a peaceful, a credible election where he actually knew he stole the mandate of the people. He killed democracy at the local government level for selfish interest, selfish purpose. The same thing he did earlier when he came to the House of Assembly election. So when you say this is probably the worst, I can tell you, my brother, that local government election was far worse than this because it's not a national election that people did not really be much light on. So what you guys have seen right now is a flip of what Obaseki meted out to the people at the local level that has not happened to him to cost him even more. If the man Obaseki had done things rightly, right from his own second term beginning and every other thing, that local government elections, PDP still would have won massively, but there would have been proper practice of democracy because people campaigned, people spent money, people went about, and where they expected the government to just support that the will of the people we can, that would have earned Obaseki so much respect. Personally, today I probably would not have been against him. Now that I come tell myself, say, no. Then you guys will come and say, come no take that one against Obaseki. You get which states governors don't manipulate local government elections. Now they do one now. Now to such persons, what I not tell you now, you get which states federal government not use their power, they manipulate governorship elections. I have always wanted an Edo State that will set example for the whole of Nigeria. Obama says change will not happen from top downwards. Change will happen from down upward. And I actually knew, I respect that, I believe in that. All Obama need to have done is to walk the walk. All the money he's been accused of now, of having stolen, stashed away. If all of those things were really used for Edo State, my brother, development is not one that is hidden. If people, somebody went to Edo State recently. It's not even from Edo State, a friend of mine. You know, he go to Nigeria. I sent a message, me reach Edo. The person reached Edo. He came by saying, man, I've heard of Benin City. Say I went to Benin City, man. And he said he was asking himself, is this the Benin City that I've been hearing of right from my days in secondary school? That if it is a Benin City and one kind of place will be it's probably the most developed in Nigeria. When he reached there in the shade, Benin City did not even reach one of their villages for Akwa Ibom. That's what he told me. And the shame as they tell me. And I said, nice, my brother, you know as corruption be for these people. A friend of mine from this UK, he's never been to Benin before. He traveled home. My son and messaged me, I beg, deliver this message to somebody like this. So he went to Benin and he came back and he was crying. He said Benin was able to carry camera. Oh, Obaseki is trying. So we will say, oh, Obaseki is my father. And many of us, we have seen evidence to show that, man, there's so much rot under this administration. So when you say this election is turned out to be the worst, my brother, no, this election is no worse than what Obaseki did at the local government level. I will always remind him of that. Talk, I will still take you up on another matter.
Yesterday, certain moves that seem to obviously suggest a blatant attempt to manipulate the results of the elections. You know, many things come up suddenly. You see results being thrown up where the total results are much more than the voters that have been accredited. A great example is a place like in Ikpobaha in Ologbo in Ikpobaha. The total voters that were accredited for yesterday's election was 156. The results declared gives APC 2,110 and PDP 57. And we have like 50 such units where such results have been thrown up, where we have the total number of votes far outstripping people that came to accredit for the election. That's impossible. If 100 people accredit, then either you have 100 or less voting. It's preposterous. And you know the irony of the whole thing, where all of this happened, APC ended up winning in all of those places. So it's, you know, we see clear manipulation. And you know, I've always said this, you know, manipulation.
Those say people, let me remind us, because if I say, I swear the thing say maybe we they forget. In Edo State local government elections organized by Edo State government, by NSEC, the State Electoral Commission, I think they thought say they accredit APC go they add numbers join them. We are talking of places in Edo State under that NSEC where we had polling units in wards, in local government, where there was no election. There were no materials. People came out to come and vote. Nobody come there, come attend to them. Today, they declare results for all of those places. They signed up numbers of accredited people and voters. Is that not what? Is that not what? In fact, as a matter of fact, one of the people who are in SEC, you know, come leak when we tell us, man, the result of that election was prepared. The Edo State local government election was prepared 4 days before the election. 4 days before the election, basically prepared the result down for all the 18 local governments in Edo State. If that is anything to go by. 4 days before, they don't already prepare everything down. How they want to do it. So when you tell us now, say, oh, accredited, you know, the number was, my bro, that still does not account for this election being the worst. This election is bad, really, really bad. Even as I speak, I am inclined to be very honest and raw. I weep honestly that one human being called Monday Ukpewolo is going to be named the governor of Edo State. Honestly, that I am from Edo State and this human being Monday Ukpewolo will be the governor of Edo State breaks my heart totally. But the election that is bringing him up, throwing him up right now, is far better than what Obaseki did at the local government levels. Make sure they are aware of that. Far better. Then I'm going to listen to this guy called Iyoha complaining, asking people journalists to go out and talk about this and do this and do that. I'm going to listen. I'm going to ask myself, see, is this not Iyoha, the chief of staff of Edo State? that we all know, that Edo State people know? Is this not the same Iyoha who was parading himself in the course of that local government elections, played his role effectively to ensure that there was so much manipulation? We saw him live. That is not complaining. May I put up Iyoha? May I just put you here? Because I am shocked to listen to Iyoha. You know, because they oppose many things right now for whatever it is. You know, what's his name? All the things when they do now Iyoha, they mostly for this INEC collation, this thing. So he's majorly the one, you know, opposing and reopposing, you know, all the results when we say INEC the real out. You understand?
I'm pretty disappointed.
Wait. I want to put up Iyoha. I just want to put up Iyoha. No, you wait. You will talk later. I will bring you on. Because right now, this
go to IREV. I ask you, you must not do lazy journalism now. All of you, open up your phones, go to IREV and see what's going on there. And tell us whether this is the country you people deserve. This is the country you people deserve to live in. I have no other thing to say. We will be part of the process. We will see it to completion. Oh, apparently. We are not doing it for ourselves. We are doing it for the people. Who in his right senses will vote for this party that is in the league here today? In this country today? Where are they getting those votes from? Those numbers that they are getting now. Where are they getting them from? In Nigeria's today, who in his right senses is going to vote the APC? And they are giving us magical figures, astronomical figures. And they expect us to clap for them. My party will make a statement officially, but I just felt I owe due disrespect to say something about what's going on here. Thank you very much.
No be Vanguard be this. No Vanguard maybe. No Guardian. Guardian, thank you for the interview. Credit to Guardian. I don't know many of you know this in your house. I don't know many of you know, but I reserve my comments. But it is sad to hear people that have perpetuated so much electoral malpractice in Edo State come to criticize the same thing that they have sponsored over time. They have been responsible for this kind of pain to different people because when it's under their purview, they manipulate. When the thing have now switched against them, they are not complaining. Me not know say they sabi complain. And Mama Abasu, when you tell me say, does it make it right? Oh, have I said anything makes it right? I have said that if you have treated the process right by yourself, people will truly sympathize with you and stand with you at this time. Some people that should have been standing with you right now are the same people that you have used the system against previously. So what local standard do you have to criticize the process that you yourself have so much perpetuated in the past? That's my argument. I have berated the whole process. And I have said that it is sad. It pains me to my bone marrow that tomorrow they are going to say that Mondo Bewolo is the governor of Edo State. You understand the picture from saying that? The capacity of Monday, we know. The process, all of this process led to this point we are now. We know this was a man never engaged with anybody. No journalist, he was never questioned. Nobody even knows now. He has no vision. He has not expressed any vision for Edo State. Nobody can hold him to say, man, he promised to do this or promised to do that. None. There is no word of his anywhere to say this is his policy on agriculture, this is policy on health, this is policy on education. He's not there. He's not there. So it is travesty of the highest order that this process right now has now said Mondo Bawolo will be the next governor of Edo State. As it pains me, I'm only saying that the people responsible for what is happening right now are this group of people. Obaseki, Iyoha, wait be named the former SSG, Osarajo Ogie. These are the people responsible. Because they were never nice nor fair to Edo State people. They never had to protect and project a genuine process. To see them cry now, you understand what I'm saying now? It's one of mixed feeling for me. So now they feel cry too, because some of us don't cry this cry, even if we didn't speak out, we don't cry, it's our mind. And I told the world, I said, what Obaseki did in local government of Edo State for that election, he killed democracy finally. And today, we are reaping the fruits. People have come out right now to collect money, to do everything, to help survive the will of the people for APC. But so many others equally did for PDP. It's just like APC came tops. So it is the same tradition that they both embraced. But right now, just favoring APC more. That's exactly what has happened. So there is no innocence here. None of them is innocent. Not even the voters themselves. Many of whom who came to their polling unit and were asking party agents, how much are you paying me? Negotiating what they should be paid to go and vote. And dangerously, these guys, these state actors, have now planted a tradition in Edo State politics where electorate will suffer for 4 years. When it's coming to elections, they believe that it is their chance to get a little out of politicians. And they're asking how much would they get. And it is dangerously so that even people that will be qualified to do something, to occupy political offices and of course do well by way of ensuring that they provide good governance for the glory of service and the glory of governance. The fact that they will not have 10,000, 20,000, 10,000 to share to electorates, they will shy away. And you are going to find many, as we saw in this election, who will contest, not because they have anything to offer, but they have some 3, 5, 6, 10 million somewhere to contest. They want to be called aspirants or former aspirants in some of the political parties, the small ones. They will go there, put in everything as investment. When it's getting close to election, you hear them say, oh, XYZ political party has endorsed one of the big political parties, having collected the money he used he invested in the process and collected a few benefits. And it's waiting for the next window to come out again. You hear, oh, Blue P has endorsed APC. The candidate of this has endorsed that. That is what this process has engendered, has encouraged. And all of this is to the detriment of a proper healthcare service. It's to the detriment of a proper restructuring of our educational, infrastructure. It's to the detriment of agriculture. It's to the detriment of good roads. It's to the detriment of everything that governors need to provide for a state people. That is what we have now engendered. And furthermore, APC have now been boosted. Ukpebolo doesn't need to deliver on anything. All he needs to do is to steal everything that comes to Edo State, share it between himself, Oshomole, Pastor Osage Ezeyamu, Kabaka, and all their cohorts. They save some for the next election. And he doesn't need to do anything. He doesn't need to even leave his house or his government house. He doesn't need to appear before Arise or Channels or any television media or any media for that matter. And wait 4 years' time. Maybe the value of what they are going to be sharing with 50,000 at that time. And they share 50,000 to the electorate. They may even do it a night before the election. Because they are advancing better on how to do this matter. At the end of the day, they render INEC powerless. Because at the end of the day, some people in the INEC cannot be excused from colluding to give us this result. So in the long run, before Tinubu will leave office, we probably are going to be having a one-party state where APC will be in government in all states of the federation. Today, Nigeria is one of the worst countries in this world. It is the poverty capital of the world. the failure of Nigeria today is responsible for the failure of the entire Africa. A lot of people don't understand why some of us have been huge advocates for change, starting from even our local government, so that it can spill to the state and even to the federal government, because we know, personally I know, that we need to rescue Africa. I live in the United Kingdom and I have the opportunity and the privilege to meet with citizens of different countries of Africa, and the story is not different. And what most of them have said is that they respected Nigeria and they hoped that Nigeria was going to, liberate the entire Africa. And today, nobody's looking up to Nigeria anymore. You think it's going to start from the presidency? No, it starts from our local government, to the states, to the federal government. This was Obaseki who became governor of Edo State, and I started projecting that if this guy does well, he will be a proper candidate to preside over the affairs of this country. Because I genuinely actually wanted that we have a better country, that will provide better leadership for Africa and restore confidence in the entire African, continent, ensuring that proper democracy reigns everywhere, because we would have done it for ourselves. And Africa would have become independent. But today, Africa is now hugely indebted to the Chinese. They are seizing our own presidential private fleets, presidential houses abroad. You think that it is a matter of the presidency? No, it is starting from here, from the failure of the local councils, from the failure of the state levels, from the political failure of the national assemblies, the state assemblies, and the entire political fabric of Nigeria. We cannot see beyond our noses to understand that every small thing we do here at this local level right now has direct implication to the entire national fabric of our politics. Many of you don't understand. When we just look at the state election, look at this, now so it is. No, our failure in Nigeria is affecting the entire continent and is bringing disrepute to all of us all over the world. Everywhere you see a black man, there is no respect because of what is happening in Nigeria. Then you come here, you cry foul. When you are responsible for what you are crying foul for. I beg my people, what else can a brother say? It's sad, it's painful, isn't it? It is. May I listen to Oga Aswa again?
I'm pretty disappointed. The day started rather on an even canter, and I thought we probably would have a good, transparent, and effective conduct of elections. But as the day wore on, and I saw how things were unfolding, it became clear that the elections were not going to be freely and fairly held. So I'm very disappointed. It's beginning to look like we're having probably the worst election in the history of our country being conducted in Edo State. We saw yesterday certain moves that seem to obviously suggest a blatant attempt to manipulate the results of the elections. Many things come up suddenly. You see results being thrown up where the total results are much more than the voters that have been accredited. A great example is a place like in Ikpobaha in Ologbo in Ikpobaha. The total voters that were accredited for yesterday's election was 156. The results declared gives APC 2,110 and PDP 57. And we have like 50 such units where such results have been thrown up, where we have the total number of votes far outstripping people that came to accredit for the election. That's impossible. If 100 people accredit, then either you have 100 or less voting. It's preposterous. And the irony of the whole thing, where all of this happened, APC ended up winning in all of those places. So, we see clear manipulation. And, I've always said this, manipulation cannot happen except there is complicity and connivance by INEC, period. So that's why I say that the way I see the direction of these elections, it's clear that it probably will be the worst worst elections in the history of Nigeria, the way it's going. If INEC doesn't turn a new leaf, we can't accept injustice. We can't accept injustice. We're peace-loving people in the PDP, the party, my running mate and myself. We're peace-loving people. We're gentlemen. You know, if the elections had been fairly and freely conducted, then we'll take the outcome of the elections. But when you see this crass manipulation, this subversion of the will of the people of Edo State, it's untenable, it's unacceptable, totally unacceptable. You know, people can't just use what they think are the powers that they have. We truly are powers from God and from the people of Nigeria, and use those powers to subvert, undermine, intimidate, and punish the people of the country. It's not acceptable. And these are the things that are the beginnings of bigger problems for countries. People are not students of history. People don't love their country. They don't even love themselves. They don't even love themselves, because if there is a big problem in all of this, you know, it affects everybody. There's nobody that will say because you are the purveyor of the crime, you will escape. The governor went into the INEC office to demand a meeting with the REC to ask why they'd stopped the collation of the votes. And there was nothing being done, there was nothing being said. And he went in, and after he had finished, he met with the DIG police, and after they finished, he left. It was because of his intervention that INEC issued a statement that they will continue collation at 10 a.m. So there's no such, it's not true. How will they match out a sitting governor from INEC office? Who is the REC compared to a sitting governor? Apart from this so-called powers. If you go to INEC office, you would think it's one of the branch offices of APC, or one of their campaign offices. So it's possible that the APC thugs that were there were saying that, but definitely security officials will say that. And the security officials, in fairness to them, were very courteous. The governor confirmed this. The security officials were there were a number of security officers there that had even worked directly with the governor before. So that didn't come from security officers. That could only have come from the APC thugs. And you see, APC has taken over all of the institutions that govern this electoral process, which is really sad. As far as the people of Edo State were concerned, they were going through a normal process of electing a new government. And they didn't think they would have to go through all of this hassle to get to the point where they elected a new government. So the people of Edo State are sad, they feel pained, they're worried that their true intentions, wishes, and desires are about to be subverted. But, you know, I know the people of Edo State. They're strong people, they're strong-willed people, they understand political issues, they're very conversant with political ways and processes. And I think the people of Edo State will stand up and speak for themselves as things unfold. But I'm hoping very seriously that INEC will retrace its steps and understand that it cannot be used as cannon fodder by politicians that don't like the people. You know, it's just unbelievable the way the APC has been behaving in the weeks leading up to this election. They're behaving as if they own INEC, as if they own the police. And we are all complicit in allowing all of this to continue happening. And we say we want to run a free, fair, and democratic process. Where in the world does that happen?
You know, back in the day, you know, you will hear in Spanish, they'll say, cada uno es el dueño de sus palabras. And the meaning of that is that everyone is the landlord of his thought and his words. That's this I swear right now. And when it's said that everybody is, you know, concerned, it's not everybody, I swear. The only people who are expressing concern are people who are PDP members and those who support you, many of whom, you know, have had the benefit of personal immediate gratification. Not everybody. Because as far as I know, the APC members are celebrating. They are. A lot of other Edo State people are weeping because there's rape of democracy. You know, there is obliteration of democracy in Edo States. You know, that's what is happening now. There's travesty of justice as far as this president is concerned. So there are those who are really, really sad. There are most people who are happy. People who are expressing joy that anything Obaseki will not be in government house again because of the way Obaseki has carried himself throughout the last 8 years. There are people who want to quickly sweep Obaseki's feet off Edo State. And I hope, that's not my hope, whatever it is, it happens. And Obaseki needs to probably now, in the next 2 months, put himself together so that he does not go to jail. Because if what they are saying, and they are proof of, you understand what I'm saying now, that so much amount of money have been stolen under his administration, he probably will need to answer to some of those things by these people who have come on, who are probably going to be very vindictive because of the way he himself, Obaseki, has carried himself. So he may eventually reap what he has sown over the past 8 years. Now, I mean, I have this footage. I want to put it up. I think this is what it be named. People are saying that the APC chairman. I don't know what he talk about. I've just seen this footage, and I think that it's worth listening to. Let me put that up and see if we can get something relevant from him. Whether not Tenebe that they call this one, I don't know. I think his name is Tenebe. I mean, just bear with me. Let me upload this. I don't know what they talk about, but let's upload that. But meanwhile, I hear that protest is still ongoing. Those who love Asu Egudalo and the PDP, they are still protesting. Let's take a listen to what Jared has to say.
Yes, I just said it now that there was heavy downpour of rain yesterday, and when there is rain like that in Edo State, because the governor did not construct drainages, so you have rivers all over the places, and people cannot move. That's the reason why there was low turnout, because of the rains, and the governor performed so poor that he did not construct drainages to direct water to go to another place. So that's the reason why there was low turnout yesterday. Not because of anything, because of the corruption that has happened in this state. No drainages.
Those people, I'm just listening to this guy for the first time. I think his name is Jared Tenebe or whatever it is. He's the chairman of APC Edo State. To be honest with you, he's been one of the biggest clowns in this electoral process. He was the one who was telling them on Arise Television that Bawolo will not come on Arise because those two people don't have DSTV to watch Arise TV. And that's why Bawolo will not appear. These are political merchants. You understand what I'm saying? Now, these are people destroying the fabric of our politics. And today they are rendered heroes. Today, the process has rendered them heroes. But these are people who should not be in the environment of politics at all, because all their business is to subvert the will of the people. They're on top right now. So you will hear them, boastful, boisterous, as the case may be, and all of that. But each time I would listen to characters like these, I just but weep and really, really weep more than I should. Because at the end of the day, what these guys are coming to entrench, somebody just wrote just now and said, let us give Bawolo the benefit of the doubt. Of course, we would give him the benefit of the doubt, isn't it? We would. But I do not have any local standing to question him, because he didn't promise he was going to do anything for Edo State. He rode in right now. He's riding to become the next governor of Edo State, like Tinubu rode to become president of Nigeria. And so to look at what Nigeria is. Now, money, we've still there for Nigeria. Tinubu is just 1 year, a few months in office right now. This is the state of Nigeria. By the time he's 4 years in office, hey, for now, when they pray, when they call on God, when I call on God a lot more this time. But let's listen further. He's telling us that those people did not come out because there was so much rain. Rain did not make them come out. When you people were sowing seed of violence everywhere, when you knew that the electorate not coming out is going to favor you more, and you guys planted so much to ensure that people don't come out, that the voter apathy would increase. Because it is only when people don't come out massively that you can, you can rig your way through the way you like. Election that is supposed, where we have 1.5, no, 2 point something million registered voters, is not only going to be determined by probably less than 500,000 people. That's what it's looking like. Less than 500,000 people will not determine who will be the next governor of Edo State. We will listen to Rafora. So, my brother, let's not be carried away. Not be rain. If there was a peaceful environment, if there was a history of the people's will, their vote counting, people would have come out. We are doing for our eye now for presidential election 2023. Or basically come finalize the matter for local government elections. So the people naturally will be reluctant. They came out for a presidential election. Their will did not count. They came out for basically local government election. It was even worse. So why would they be motivated to come out, whether it is raining or it is shining? So giving the excuse that because rain fall, blah, 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 it makes you more a clown, honestly, Mr. Jarrett.
PDP, they have the area of the mouth. The point is that when somebody is dying, when somebody is drowning, he will look for one thing or the other to click on. You see, a situation where you have somebody who is declared wanted for killing a police at the airport when this whole thing was starting, as a collation agent of the state of the party, then you will know what we are talking about. So why would they be talking about rigging? Nobody rigged. The election was free and fair. And this is the freest and the most fairest election that has ever happened in this state. Now, when we are talking about election in Edo State,
so he just made a statement just now, a statement that ordinarily should annoy every right-thinking human being based on what we saw in that election. But he will say that because right now it is to their favor, isn't it? It is. But man, it's so wrong. This is exactly what I'm talking about, you know. Ah, God. For bonfire.
You don't bring Nigeria into it. What affects the people is the government of the state. That is what directly affects the people, and that is the problem we are having. We are here in Edo State, where the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria brought palliative to ameliorate the sufferings of the people from the fuel subsidy pains. Those things were hijacked by the governor, distributed them to his party people, and that's what the rice they are selling in the market right now. So what are we talking about here? So you don't even have to bring that one in. So the governor is a rogue, if you are going to carry that. He's a thief, if you are going to carry that. He is on his way out of the Edo people's life. Thank you.
No, sir, you don't defend Tinubu, the worst president ever in the history of this country, so far, at least. But it's pushing all the blame now to Governor Obaseki. We know that Obaseki gets you, but man, let's equally understand that Tinubu own. Guys, we are still waiting for them to collate. I mean, to bring Ikpobawaka this thing. I don't know what they want to do with that one. Ikpobawaka never still come. That's what we are waiting for. You understand what I'm saying? I'm supposed to conclude this broadcast since 2 local government, they've done, 17, remain 1. It's not going to make much difference though. It already shows. We've already said that, we can project that Okpebholo will be named the governor-elect for Edo State in this election. That's what our projection is based on the results collated so far. But in the meantime, let me show us that, I think we have it on good report that there's protests. It has broke out in Edo State right now.
People, soldier go kill. How many people, soldier go kill? Hey, they go kill us, tire. Hey.
Well, it's just a snippet of what is appears to be happening at those states right now. Benin City, to be precise. We hear that there's massive security presence, and people are protesting. Apparently, surrogates of the PDP. Like I have said earlier, all of them just go house, many go rest, because as all of them gather for here, so most of them contributed to the problem with they here. So they've given themselves what they wanted, and so make all of us enjoy, isn't it? That will be the thing. But as for Obaseki, my candid advice to the governor right now is let him check his account books, let him check, all the things he's done and put his record straight, so that he will not be found wanting. Because if he's found wanting, these guys are going to probably come after him. I don't know how he will do that one. I don't feel any pity for him, but I think he has governed those states very wrongly. He has failed in many aspects. Because his failure is so much that I can't even talk of the things I feel he has done positively. Because at the end of the day, Obaseki is a man who does everything at his own interest, not really in the interest of the people. How the matter will be. He wants to be the only Iroko around the forest. You understand? So that's his nature. So Asua Udalo today, for what has happened, Obaseki is chiefly responsible for the failure of Asua Ighodalo to become the governor of Edo State. Obaseki is the person who must take on the responsibility, because he's the man who failed Asua Ighodalo. Asua Ighodalo is a victim, though it's not just that complete victim, because he did not come from the blues. He's been with this same Obaseki for a long time, so he knows the secret. And I dare say that Asua's projection to become the next governor of Edo State by Governor Obaseki was primarily to come and cover for Obaseki, the same way Obaseki came in to cover for Oshomole. Obaseki promised us he go probe Oshomole 30 billion water storm projects. Today, only for us to come find out later, say Obaseki probably gained up to 1 billion inside that project himself for his free invest. So at the end of the day, the man, when he was campaigning in 2020, just said so many things just to get those people to trust him, to believe in him. You understand what I'm saying now? At his own interest. So Obaseki is chiefly responsible for the failure of this thing, but he can't pay me say he pitched us against ourselves. And those people were not hugely divided. And so I probably want to say that for the next person who's going to be called governor of Edo State, even though the person has not won this election, I would advise, if the person, mean well for Edo State, ensure that future elections in Edo State is not tampered with. Local government elections, House of Assembly elections, let the will of people count. I know it's not going to happen, but that's my candid advice. Most of all, in the immediate, I will advise that the next governor of Edo State should look at ways of bringing Edo State people together. And that can only be done by honesty, by true honesty to governance. That can be done by putting the people first before any other thing. And most of all, by ensuring that every institution in Edo State are respected appropriately, and not pitching Edo State against Edo State people. Matter, I don't know when they want to come out, whatever they are negotiating on that one, I don't really know. It's supposed to be here. Last 4 years in 2020, it was Oriomo that did not come out in time. Today, Edo State people, I'm going to have to leave this table at this moment and hope that, we always hope that we have a better Edo State in the future. At the moment, it is tragedy. At the moment, some of us don't see light, except and unless we start to be corrected. My name is Comrade Lamtic Mahusa Orehe. I'll see you much later. God bless you all.
Comrade Lamte Oriakhe. This is the Commerce Show. This is the Commerce Show.